Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So today's going to be a participation heavy day. Here's the agenda. We're going to do a little bit of tidying information. It's not much. We are going to be introducing the career research interview. We also will be doing sign-ups. Y'all will actually have leeway to sign up when y'all want to. I'll email y'all that link when the time comes. Then we have this was supposed to be kind of like a discussion. Number 4 is like a LinkedIn networking. But I think it's more of like y'all doing an activity. I'll get there. And then number 5 is apparently just a copy of number 3 that I meant to delete. So it happens. Okay, let's get right into it. Tidying information. For those who missed class the other day, for mock interviews, you no longer have to ask your peers 2 questions. I can't remember everybody who was absent the other day, but I'm just going to reiterate it one more time. You do not have to find 2 questions to ask for your peers for the mock interviews. I'm going to be the only one asking questions. Is that clear for everybody? Mm-hmm. Good. Love the head nods. Okay. I like this next bullet point. I wanted to tell y'all how well you're doing so far. I wanted to tell y'all job well done. I think y'all have been doing a great job, and I brag to the other TAs about every single one of you. And I was very impressed. I was looking at these videos that I make, right? And I was very impressed, especially with some of these activities. I'll look at some of you and I'll call you out, right? And that's difficult sometimes. Or I tell you to go do something, I'll volunteer you, and y'all handle it very, very well. I wanted to tell you that. I think what we're creating here, we, not just I or me, is a good environment, especially for learning. So I wanted to applaud you for that. Everybody give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, let's make it cheesy. Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, I'm very proud of y'all. So let's go ahead and get in. So we are going to go ahead and get into the signups. I'll email you the link. I'm going to go over these bullet points first. So we're signing up really early. The actual presentations for when you were going over your what you found out and stuff like that, that's in April. Yeah. So the presentations, we're going to sign up now, but it's in April. Just know that. Now the interviews themselves, obviously this bullet point, we sign up early because professionals are usually busy. You do not want to forget that. I take for instance that you want to interview an attorney. You really think you can email them the day prior of when it's due for an interview? No, do it in advance. Don't forget about that. Do it in advance. And then in red, don't wait until the last minute. That makes sense. It's an interview. You're asking somebody questions. You are working on someone else's time, not just yours. Take advantage of spring break. This is what the other TAs told me to tell y'all, was that since spring break is coming up, maybe you can go home and do it then. Get it done so you don't have to worry about it as much. Don't let me forget to email it to y'all because it's in the past slide, so just remind me if I forget. So you can't interview family members, friends, or family friends. A lot of times we can tell that sort of thing. You wouldn't think we would be able to tell. But a lot of times, historically speaking, we've been able to find out whether or not it was a family friend. So just don't do that. It must be recorded, whether virtual or in person, and the exception is for lawyers and attorneys, because that's legal stuff. They probably can't say a whole bunch of stuff about their clients, for instance, whatever. Attorney-client privileges. Okay, so this is really important too. I want y'all to remember it. Extensions will not be given for interviews that were unable to be scheduled. So you have no leeway for that. No leeway. You can't come up to me, give me 1 second, you can't come up to me and say, I forgot to schedule it, or I didn't get it scheduled. It's not going to fly. What's up?
For the recording, does it have to be like a video recording, or could you just do like an audio recording?
We have to see you. So video. Let me go here first.
Can I interview my boss?
Good question. Family members, friends, or family friends? That doesn't fit in the family members, friends, or family friends. Now, Dr. Clem, I know in the video did say don't interview someone you know.
I don't really talk to them like that.
Yeah? I may have to get back to you on that. That, or you can reach out to Dr. Clem.
It is what I want to get into.
Yeah.
And he just seems like the best person.
If I were in your shoes, I'd ask your boss to send you to someone you've never even heard of before. just to be safe, because the last thing I want to do is count out points
Okay.
for y'all. So ask your boss if he has another person you've never heard of.
Well, you'll be back to me.
Yeah. I will. I'll ask.
Thank you.
What's that?
So I have like two questions. One, is there like any apps that you specifically want us to use for the recordings? Like anything good?
Whatever's easiest for you. So, like, I have recording software on my own. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's Clipchamp. But you can also do Canva, and there's another one I'm thinking about. Teams is another one, and Zoom is another one, and then there's another Skype. So you got quite a few to choose from. Just make sure it's recording.
And then is the video during the time limit?
Time limit.
So like while you're presenting, does it take up time? No.
So the interview recording itself and the presentation y'all are doing are separate.
Okay.
So the in April, it's one of like the last classes I think, or when y'all are going to be telling me in your class what you found. That's 1 to 3 minutes, and it is separate from that video recording. So and the video recording does need to be submitted.
So we played the video recording and then we start presenting.
You could, as long it just that's bleeding into time limits. So it's like, I personally wouldn't do that. What I would do is that I would make a presentation about the things that you found. You could play a clip if you wanted, but if you have a 1-3 minutes, it takes up a lot of time. So you can play that by ear. What's up?
So for the presentation, we just go over the questions we ask them?
Sure, you could. Just the main thing I harp on is the time limit, and then get the point across about what you found out about the industry you want to go into and what you found about this person.
Like specifically their answers, but what you...
Overarching themes, for sure. Overarching themes, because like I said, the last thing I want to do is count off for somebody going over 3 minutes. So, like if I were in y'all's shoes, I'd make a presentation similar to this with bullet points and then explain the bullet points. That's what I would do. What's up?
Can I do it in person?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or...
It just we have to be able to see you, so like you could do something like what I'm doing here with your camera. Don't think you have to have them. We have to be able to hear them, right? But we have to be able to see you. So yes, you could absolutely do it in person. It just needs to be recorded. I would prefer in person. If I were in y'all's shoes, I would do it in person. It's more personable. You get more answers out of people and stuff like that. What else? Everybody good? Good. Let's keep going. I might email you the link now so we can sign up. Yeah. So I told y'all it's going to be a participation heavy day. Not as wild as Mondays, but I feel like we'll do well with this one too. Everyone signed up? Who hasn't? Everyone? Okay. Great. Okay. Use your paper or computer to answer the following questions. It's really straightforward stuff. I just want you to answer the questions, and then since I am supposed to get y'all to talk, what I'm going to do is just go down the line, and you are going to tell me your answers. All right? Okay. Who's done? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. You want to start here? Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Go for it. What are your answers?
All right. First one, what career am I interested in? Is cybersecurity. I do have someone in mind already. There is a company that I've talked to a little bit about internships, and they have a called Unify. They're based in Houston. Maybe talking to one of their cybersecurity people. And then a question I want to ask is, what does cybersecurity look like in your field? Because nowadays cybersecurity is almost in every single field. And so I want to know how it may be different in their specific field.
Those are all really, really solid. So I would say it's very, very well done, especially asking such a specific question. So with people who are already established in their field, it's a really good idea to try and get very, very specific. Because if you're broad, you might be able to give them, some stuff to run off of, right? But if you ask specific questions, they can get really deep into it. So very well done.
I said marketing as the career field I'm interested in, and no, I do not have someone that I would like.
That's okay. It's what we're going to be doing later today too.
Okay. And then my question was, to what extent does your day-to-day work require creativity?
Nice. Wow, that's a very interesting question. Well done.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go into radio production. I kind of have an idea of where I'd find the person I'd want to interview because I'm interning at Raymer Communications and they have multiple stations. If it has to be somebody I don't know, there are stations where I haven't met their hosts and producers yet, so I'd probably just ask one of them
Good stuff.
at that point. I don't know what I'd really ask though.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can start brainstorming that today.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm interested in being a cop. I don't have anyone yet, but I'm thinking of going up to the station
Outstanding.
and asking.
Yeah.
And then my question would be, what skills do you need to help you achieve in the academy?
Love it.
There's also
Love
stations
it.
on campus you wouldn't even have to leave.
That's true if you wanted to. So reiterate that last question, the last question, last answer. Sorry.
I say it again.
Yes, please.
What skills do you need to help you achieve in the academy?
Yeah, I love that. I think it's a very, very strong question. Now, also, I think they'd be very willing to talk to you, especially because things like police stations have what they call public information officers. Have any of us heard of that before? They're basically PR people, and so you reach out to them and they give you the information that they can give you depending on circumstances. So if you want, you can ask to see if there's a chief available or something like that. And if not, at the very least, you can absolutely go to the public information officer. So that, and that may be one of the first people you call if you call in. So keep that in mind. Solid. Go for it.
My field, cybersecurity, and then the person would be Sherry Harrison from Nestle. And then the question would be, what are the steps you went through to get to where you are today?
Right on. Love that. I think people ought to think about that question too. Reiterate one more time for me.
What are the steps you went through to get to where you are today?
Yeah, it's a great. You have the same thing?
Yes.
It's a great question. It's a great question because especially now with these sorts of things too, you might be able to see if there's any similarities between them. So if you ask other people, if I were to use teachers as an example, right? If I go and ask all the teachers that question, I could see if there's similarities among all of them, right? That's good stuff. Cole?
My career field I'm interested in is being like accountant / auditor for a big firm. I found out something about really works for PwC, so I was wondering if you can get me in touch with maybe someone who's just starting out there or maybe someone out. And I was gonna ask, what has been their biggest hardship so far?
Ooh. Very, very telling question, that last one. Yeah, very, very telling question. And what I've noticed, at least in my experience, so anecdata, is that people are typically pretty willing to answer that sort of question because if they've gotten past a hardship, then they're pretty proud of getting past it and they do want to talk about it. So think about those questions like that too. Also, just because we can't just because we can't interview family members, friends, or family friends does not mean we can go through them to get to somebody. So you mentioned your brother, right? Yes. So it's like going through his brother to get a connection. That's perfectly fine. I think that's a great idea. Aiden?
My career path, I'm going to be a marketing manager, and I do not have anyone to interview yet. And my question was, what are the best types of internships for this career path?
Love it. Perfectly straightforward. Very strong. Cash?
My career field that I'm interested in is something business marketing or sales. I don't have someone who I'm looking to interview, but I'll probably just say like Cole, look through my dad or one of my relatives and see if I can reach out to somebody. And then I just changed my question to what made you choose this career path and why?
Love it. Perfectly straightforward. Very strong. Callie?
I kind of did like what I wanted to do, so I did like something like with varsity, like a cheer program, or like working at Kinder Scott. And then I have someone in mind, one of my friends' bosses. And then my question was, what are the goals in your company that are most important to you?
Perfectly straightforward. Love it.
I want to go into the design field, whether it be within a company or agency with a lot of clients. The person I might want to interview is this guy named DJ Stroud. He's like a part of Pentagram, which is the top design firm in the world. But he comes from Texas Tech. He graduated here and has like a speaker series here every year. So
Lovely.
I feel like that could be a little difficult. You know what I mean?
Right on.
Since
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
tries to give back to Tech.
Definitely. That, and then obviously, I say obviously, when you're going into it, mention that you're from Texas Tech. I'm sure he would love that. Go for it.
Video editing, so like content creation. I don't have a person in mind, but a question I asked was how did you overcome adversity? Some content creators started from practically nothing, so they made internship or anything. So like how do they actively build up their brand?
Yeah, especially in that context, it's very strong. Like telling them, oh, if you did start from nothing, how did you get to where you are now? Great question.
My career field is law, and I don't have anyone in the interview. But my question is going to be about asking them about their time management techniques that they acquired.
That's perfect. Yeah, coming from a law firm myself, you would not believe how busy these attorneys are. You would not believe it. Like I say, teachers here are busy, professors here are busy, and they are. Attorneys is a different. There are different types of busy. It's crazy. So I think it's a great question.
I'm interested in becoming a CRNA. I was gonna try and reach out to like the director of admissions for the CRNA school at the UT Health Science Center in San Antonio. I was just gonna ask her what skills they look for in candidates.
Cool, perfect. Yeah, you might want to actually know that, especially for the future, because you might want to start building your skills. Now, tell me what is you said CRNA?
Certified Registered Nursing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, love it. Okay. Which line is that? Yes.
I'm interested in digital advertisement. I don't have anybody, but I do know a professor in the MCOM building that has some connections.
Good.
And my question is, what are the steps you took to be efficient at your starting position?
Nice. Yeah, perfect. I'm curious, who might do you know?
Nate Jones. You know
Gotcha. I'm not sure or heard of, but I was just curious. Perfectly straightforward. Good stuff. Go for it.
I said something to do with real estate, and then I don't have anyone to question.
Gotcha. It's okay.
And, my question was, if you had to start all over again, what would you do differently?
Ooh, like that. Everybody likes to use a little bit of retrospect. I think you all ought to think about that too, for sure. People like to think, especially if they're very, very qualified and they're set in their field, they like to use retrospect and they like to look future oriented as well. So, I mean, especially if they really like their job too, you can definitely ask past, present, and future questions, and I'm sure they'll be happy to answer. Go for it.
I want to be a midwife and eventually open my own birthing clinic.
Very cool.
I don't have anyone in mind, but I know a lot of people who are midwives, so I'd probably go through them. And then I'd ask how they like balance their like work time and like taking tests and stuff, because like as a midwife you have to travel all over Texas to take the tests, and it's like 3 weeks at a time. So I'd ask how they did time management with that.
Right on. Perfectly straightforward. Love it. Angela.
I said real estate agent, and I don't have anyone in mind. I said, what advice would you give to someone who wants to become a real estate agent?
Perfect. Like it. Go for it.
I'm interested in pursuing a career in petroleum land management, which means it's going to be a landman. So I don't have anybody specifically, but my brother does the same thing, so I'll probably just talk to him, try to get him connected with someone.
Definitely.
And then for my question, I just want to ask him about job security over the next 15 years, just to see what his interests are.
Perfect. Well done.
I'm interested in starting my own business. I work for a full cleaning company, and I'm interested in starting my own. I would like to interview my boss, if not interview one of his competitors. And the question I would ask him is, how did he build up his client list from when he started to where he is now?
Nice. Absolutely. Now don't be surprised if he doesn't give you all his secrets, right? Especially for building a client list. Now if he's a cool guy, and even if he wasn't, like, how do I phrase this? I'm hoping he'd be very open to telling you exactly how he did everything.
If he's my boss, then he probably would.
Okay. Good. Yeah, by the way, I just asked Dr. Clem, so I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Go for it.
I'm interested in starting a real estate business, and I don't know who I'd interviewed yet, but I asked them how they got started and what they did to fund themselves.
Definitely. Funding. My gosh, that's a really important question. How do people fund themselves, especially if they're building their own business? Think about that sort of thing. Go for it.
I'm mostly interested in real estate finance. I don't really have anyone specifically, but I think I have an idea of how to reach someone. And one question I wanted to ask was, how do you create a client base, especially like when it's just like starting?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping one of the answers will be about relationships, because I'm in PR. So I would try and keep your eye out for that. Steven?
I'm mostly interested in like tech industry. I don't really have anybody that I can think of off the top of my head that I ask questions of, but I probably ask like what kinds of investments would you make to like fund a tech company, essentially.
Perfect. Very well done. Go for it.
Career field that I'm interested in is finance, like investment banking. I don't have anyone to interview yet. And a question that I'll ask them is, what organizational challenges have they faced when working for a company?
Perfect. Great. Okay. That's. I'll tell you all just blanketed statement. Those are all ridiculously strong. I was thinking y'all might have been a bit more broad, but yeah. Like I said at the beginning of the presentation, y'all do pretty well. So now we have one more thing to do. It's called LinkedIn networking. It's an interesting little discussion. So go ahead and get on LinkedIn and start searching y'all's field and stuff like that, trying to see if people have connections from Texas Tech. So, because typically I think at the top when you start searching people or that field, it should bring up options like based on your connection and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
secondary.
yeah. So I would start trying to identify people, and then we're also going to try and work on a message template that you might send to them. Give me one more second. I got to finish this thought. And I'm also going to be working on what maybe something that I would say, okay? And then I'll show it to y'all, and then you can peel off what you like and discard the rest that you don't like. Okay? What's up?
My computer's dead. Can you?
Dead. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go for it. Golly, I feel like time's going by so quickly. So I'll finish this up later, and I will upload it to Blackboard, but I wanted to give y'all like a general idea of something that I would say for when I'm messaging these sort of people. You will want to make it pretty dang professional, and if these people are super busy, you make it straight to the point. You do not do a lot of pleasantries and stuff like that. And some people may like that sort of thing, but most of the time, you just want to get straight to the point. And you be sure to thank them for their time and all that sort of stuff. So, and the subject also can be straight to the point. So, interview for business and professional communication. That catches attention. At the very top, it says descriptive word before interview. You could say something along the lines of creative interview, just to catch their attention a little bit more. So, this is simple. I'm working on another one down here, too. My name is Rhett Downey from Texas Tech University. I have an interview assignment for my business and professional communication class. Since you said that in the subject, you may not have to say that again. Depends on the person. And I'm reaching out to see if you'd be interested in an interview. That's really, really straightforward. I quite like that a bit. I like that quite a bit. So, and then you would say something along the lines of, thank you for your time. You will want to thank them. You must have a write-off. Be sure spelling, GSP, all that sort of stuff is good. Have a sign-off. What's something else I was going to say? Damn. Can't remember. Reaching out to see if you'd be interested in an interview. This next one I'm working on, I was reaching out to see if you'd be interested sometime, then you pick a week. You just get more specific. Pick a week, a time, a date. And then be more specific, in-person meeting or a virtual meeting. And then you can also explain the interview after you get done with these two sentences, or this top sentence. So it's an interview about your company or the process that you conducted to get to where you are now. It's an interview about you. Does everybody get the general idea? Good. So I'll finish this up and post it to Blackboard to give you all, kind of like a template. Like I said, don't make them too long. You get to the point in those messages. Okay, y'all can get out of here.